My estranged sister tried to steal my lottery winnings, but my dead grandparents had other plans. I'm still reeling from everything that's happened in the last few weeks, and honestly, I don't even know where to begin. It's a tangled mess of family drama, betrayal, and a shocking revelation that has turned my entire world upside down. I just need to get this all out there, and maybe some of you experienced Reddit users can offer some perspective. Let's start with some background. I, 32, female, have always been the black sheep of my family. My older sister, Clara, 35, female, was the golden child. Perfect grades, perfect husband, perfect career. She had it all, or at least, that's what my parents always made it seem. I, on the other hand, struggled. I dropped out of college, bounced between odd jobs, and never really found my footing. My parents constantly compared me to Clara, always subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, hinting that I should be more like her. It created a deep rift between us sisters, and frankly, I resented Clara for the impossible standard she set. Our relationship, or lack thereof, became even more strained after our grandparents passed away a few years ago. My grandparents were the only ones in the family who truly understood me. They never judged my choices, always encouraged my unconventional path, and genuinely loved me for who I was. Their passing hit me hard. My parents, however, were more focused on the inheritance. Our grandparents had a sizable estate, and my parents, being the eldest child, assumed they would be the primary beneficiaries, with Clara getting a generous share as well. They were shocked, to say the least. When the will was read, it turned out my grandparents had left a significant portion of their estate to me. Not directly in cash, but in a trust that would mature on my 30th birthday. The remaining, smaller portion was divided between my parents and Clara. My parents were furious. They accused me of manipulating my grandparents, of taking advantage of their old age. Clara, usually so composed, was visibly seething. She made some snide comments about how I would just squander the money, just like I had squandered every other opportunity in my life. I was hurt, but also somewhat relieved. It felt like my grandparents had seen me, truly seen me, and wanted to give me a fresh start. After the will reading, I cut contact with my parents and Clara. The constant judgment and negativity were toxic, and I needed to distance myself for my own mental well-being. I used a small portion of the inheritance I received immediately to move to a different state, start a new life, and pursue a passion project I had always dreamed of, opening a small, independent bookstore. It was a struggle at first, but slowly, painstakingly, I built it up. The bookstore became my sanctuary, my pride, and my joy. Fast forward to about 6 months ago. My trust matured, and I finally had access to the full inheritance my grandparents had left me. It was a substantial amount, enough to not only secure the future of my bookstore but also to invest wisely and live comfortably. I was ecstatic. This was the fresh start my grandparents had envisioned for me. Here's where things get really wild. A few weeks ago, I decided, on a whim, to buy a lottery ticket. I rarely play, but something just compelled me that day. And wouldn't you know it, I won. A life-changing amount. We are talking millions. I was in disbelief, overwhelmed with a mix of excitement and terror. I knew I needed to be incredibly careful with this information, especially given my family's history with money. I hired a lawyer, set up a financial plan, and tried to keep a low profile, but secrets, especially big ones, have a way of getting out. I told my best friend, Sarah, who has been with me through thick and thin, and swore her to secrecy. I also told my current partner, Mark, who I trust implicitly. He's been incredibly supportive and level-headed throughout this whole ordeal. The news somehow leaked. I still don't know how, but I have my suspicions. Perhaps someone at the lottery office recognized me, or maybe a loose-lipped acquaintance overheard something. Regardless, the local news ran a small piece about a mystery winner from my town, and while they didn't name me directly, they showed a blurry photo of me cashing in a ticket, and that's when the floodgates opened. My phone, which had been silent for years regarding my family, suddenly started ringing off the hook. It was my mother, then my father, then Clara. I ignored their calls for days, my stomach churning with anxiety. I knew what they wanted. Finally, I cracked. My mother left a particularly desperate voicemail, begging me to call her, saying it was urgent family business. I reluctantly called her back, bracing myself for the inevitable. "Darling, I'm so glad you called." My mother's voice chirped, a sickly sweet tone I hadn't heard in years. "We heard the wonderful news. The lottery. Can you believe it? So exciting." I cut her off, "Mom, what do you want?" Her tone shifted immediately. "Well, dear, it's just, Clara has been going through a very difficult time. Her husband, he left her, and her business isn't doing so well. She's really struggling, and she just needs a little help to get back on her feet." My blood ran cold. "And you think I should give her money? After everything?" "Well, yes, darling. You have so much now. And Clara, she's family. Family helps family, right? Besides, you never really amounted to much before, let's be honest. This money, it's just luck. Clara, she's always worked so hard, she deserves it more." That phrase, "she deserves it more," hit me like a physical blow. It was the same narrative I'd heard my entire life. Clara, the deserving one, and me, the one who just got lucky. I was livid. "Mom," I said, my voice shaking with barely contained rage, "I'm not giving Clara a dime. This money is mine. I won it. And frankly, after how you all treated me, you have no right to ask for anything." My mother started to cry, real or fake, I couldn't tell. "How can you be so selfish? She's your sister, our daughter. We raised you. We deserve some respect." I hung up. My hands were trembling. I knew this was just the beginning. Sure enough, a few days later, Clara showed up at my bookstore. I saw her through the window, hovering outside, dressed in a designer suit, looking completely out of place among the cozy bookshelves. My heart hammered in my chest. I considered pretending I wasn't there, but then I remembered that I owned this place. This was my sanctuary. I wasn't going to let her intimidate me. She walked in, her eyes scanning the store, a look of disdain on her face. "So, this is what you've been doing," she said, her voice dripping with condescension. "Still playing shop." I leaned against the counter, crossing my arms. "It's a successful business, Clara, unlike some people." Her jaw tightened. "Don't be snarky. I'm here to talk about the lottery." "There's nothing to talk about." "Oh, but there is," she said, her voice suddenly colder, sharper. "Mom told me you're refusing to help me. That's just not acceptable." "I don't owe you anything, Clara." "You owe me a lot," she practically spat. "You always had it easy, always got whatever you wanted. Our grandparents, they were so foolish, giving you all that money. You just got lucky with that lottery ticket too. I've worked my entire life for everything I have, and now I'm struggling. You have more than enough. You should help me." "And what exactly do you think you're entitled to?" I asked, a dangerous calm settling over me. "Half," she said, without batting an eye. "Half of your winnings. It's only fair. As sisters, we should share. Besides, I could really use it to rebuild my life, start a new business, something worthwhile. Unlike this little bookstore." I burst out laughing. It was a harsh, bitter sound. "You think you're entitled to half of my lottery winnings? You, who hasn't spoken to me in years, who always put me down, who made my life miserable. You're delusional." "Don't you dare call me delusional," she shrieked, her perfectly composed facade finally cracking. "I am your sister. You owe me. Our parents agree. They said you always were a selfish brat." "Get out," I said, pointing to the door. "Get out of my store and never come back." She stood there, fuming, her face blotchy with anger. "You'll regret this. You'll see. You can't just cut off your family." "Watch me," I retorted. She stormed out, leaving a trail of expensive perfume and resentment in her wake. I leaned against the counter, my heart still pounding, but a strange sense of empowerment washing over me. I had stood up to her, and it felt good that I thought that would be the end of it, but I was wrong. A few days later, I received a certified letter. It was from a law firm, demanding a significant portion of my lottery winnings be turned over to Clara, citing family support and unjust enrichment. They claimed that because my grandparents had unfairly favored me in their will, and because I had subsequently won the lottery, there was a moral and legal precedent for me to financially assist my struggling sister. It was a thinly veiled attempt to strong-arm me into giving her money that I immediately called my lawyer. He was outraged. "This is preposterous," he said. "They don't have a leg to stand on. This is pure harassment." We prepared a strong response, but the whole situation left me incredibly stressed. The idea that my own sister would stoop to legal threats to try and take my money was just sickening. I confided in Mark and Sarah, who both urged me to stay strong and not give in. Then, something truly bizarre happened. I received another letter, this one much older, yellowed with age, and addressed to me in my grandmother's distinctive handwriting. It had been forwarded multiple times, indicating it had been lost in the mail for years before finally reaching me. My hands trembled as I opened it. The letter was dated shortly before my grandparents passed away. It was a letter from my grandmother, a final message to me. In it, she expressed her love and belief in me, how proud she was of the path I was choosing, even if it wasn't conventional. She wrote about how she knew my parents and Clara would likely react negatively to the will, and how she wanted to protect me from their greed. And then came the bombshell. She revealed that my parents were not my biological parents. My heart stopped. I reread the paragraph, then the entire letter, my mind reeling. It couldn't be true. My entire life, everything I thought I knew about my family, was a lied. My grandmother explained that my biological mother was her younger sister, who had passed away shortly after I was born. My biological father was an artist who had tragically died in an accident when I was an infant. My grandparents, heartbroken by the loss of their daughter and son-in-law, and wanting to protect me, had arranged for their eldest child, my parents, to adopt me. They had kept it a secret to avoid scandal and to ensure I had a stable upbringing, even though they knew my parents were less than ideal. They had always regretted not telling me sooner, but fear had kept them silent. She went on to explain that the inheritance she and my grandfather had left me was not just because they loved me, but because they felt an immense responsibility to ensure my financial security as their biological granddaughter. They had always tried to give me extra support and love because they knew the truth, and they worried about how I would be treated by my adoptive family, who, as it turned out, were fully aware of my true parentage. I collapsed onto the floor, the letter clutched in my hand, tears streaming down my face. My entire life had been a fabrication. The constant comparisons to Clara, the feeling of being an outsider, the subtle hints of not truly belonging, it all suddenly made a horrifying, painful sense. I wasn't their child. I was a child they had adopted, likely out of duty, and then treated as a lesser version of their own biological daughter. I immediately called my lawyer, barely able to speak through my sobs. He listened patiently as I recounted the contents of the letter. He was shocked, but also saw the legal implications. "This changes everything," he said. "We conducted a DNA test, which confirmed my grandmother's story. I wasn't related to my parents or Clara by blood. I was their adopted child, and Clara's adopted sister." The emotional impact of this revelation was immense. I felt a profound sense of loss for the parents I never knew, and a burning rage towards the people who had lied to me my entire life. Armed with this new information, my lawyer fired back at Clara's legal team. He presented the DNA evidence and the grandmother's letter, effectively dismantling their entire argument. They had no claim to my lottery winnings, especially since I wasn't even biologically related to them. The family support argument evaporated. The news hit my parents and Clara like a ton of bricks. My mother called me, not with her usual sweet pretense, but with a panicked, broken voice. She begged me not to reveal the truth publicly, not to ruin the family name. She even tried to spin it as, "We loved you so much, we wanted to give you a family." I was cold. "You lied to me my entire life. You treated me like dirt. You used me as a pawn in your twisted family dynamics. You don't get to ask for anything from me." Clara, on the other hand, was furious. She sent me a scathing email, accusing me of fabricating the whole thing, of trying to steal her family from her. She even tried to deny the DNA evidence. It was pathetic. The legal threats from Clara's lawyers quickly evaporated. Without any legal standing, and with the shocking truth revealed, they dropped the case. Clara's attempt to claim my lottery winnings had not only failed spectacularly, but it had also blown up her entire family structure. My parents are now facing a public scandal, as the news of their deception has slowly started to leak out through our small community. Their perfect family image is shattered. Clara's husband, who had left her, apparently heard about the DNA revelation and used it as further ammunition in their divorce proceedings, claiming she came from a family of deceit and lies. Her business, already struggling, is now facing even more scrutiny. As for me, I'm still processing everything. The lottery winnings feel almost secondary to the emotional earthquake this has caused. I'm incredibly grateful for my grandparents, who, even from beyond the grave, protected me and ultimately revealed the truth. Their love and foresight have not only secured my financial future, but have also given me a chance to heal from a lifetime of emotional abuse and lies. I'm now exploring my biological family history, trying to piece together the lives of my true parents. It's a painful but also incredibly liberating journey. I have a sense of identity I never had before. I'm cutting off all contact with my adoptive family for good. There's no going back. The betrayal is too deep. I have Mark, Sarah, and my bookstore, and now a whole new understanding of who I am. So, Reddit, what do you think? Am I justified in cutting them off completely? How do I even begin to process a lifetime of lies? Any advice on navigating this new identity and dealing with the emotional fallout would be greatly appreciated.